Drone Interceptors, Radio Talks Podcast, Radio Zoo.
Regarding the Soviet-era air defense system, which cannot truly be called an air defense because it remains unclear what it is intended to counter or what purpose it serves, perhaps only the air itself, the journalists who reported on this cannot be genuinely considered journalists, as they resemble indifferent stenographers or ancient scribes rather than true conveyors of information. Nevertheless, we owe them gratitude for not halting the flow of crucial insights from one of our so-called air defense operatives and for publishing a compelling report in Ukrainian Pravda. They described it as either a feature or an interview with the commander of a mobile fire unit, discussing why it is so arduous to shoot down these shaheeds. The report is noteworthy because it vividly exposes the flaws within this Soviet legacy of irresponsibility, which is inexplicably called either air defense or, in Ukrainian, the armed forces in general. Despite the fact that the journalists failed to pose any probing questions to their so-called heroes, questions that naturally arose from the situation, they did not challenge the narrative or the competence of those involved. The focus of the report is on mobile fire teams stationed in frontline cities, tasked with preventing flying Iranian-Chinese moped drones from penetrating deeper into the country. One of the protagonists in the story, in the midst of the action, climbs swiftly into the bed of a pickup truck, where a machine gun awaits him. However, despite the theatrical gesture of leaping into the vehicle, he cannot effectively use the machine gun because the mount on which it is installed does not pivot toward the drone. Such occurrences are commonplace within this small Soviet-style army. It is unthinkable in NATO armies, precisely because they prioritize rules and standards over circus-like theatrics. Because in warfare, spectacle does not contribute to victory or survival, only order and discipline do. A question that the journalist should have posed might have been, does this happen to you constantly? Do you lack a universal solution for such situations? For instance, additional equipment or weaponry that should be employed if your primary systems fail. This is not a joke or a game. It is your military duty, your responsibility to safeguard critical infrastructure and the Ukrainian populace, isn't it? Yet, it appears as if you are merely playing a game or posing for show. If we were not here, would nothing occur at all? Would you simply report that the target was not destroyed? Moments later, the protagonist managed to fire in the direction of the approaching drone, but missed because the drone was soaring too high. From a nearby field, shots were fired at the drone at a similar altitude, with equal ineffectiveness, as they possessed comparable weaponry. Azimuth 0, course 180, used 100 rounds. Target not destroyed, reports the operator via radio. A question that naturally arose in the journalist's notes was, why did you shoot if you knew you wouldn't hit? Was it just wasteful firing, knowing the drone was flying above your weapon's effective range? Another pertinent question, do you have any other means of destroying this menace? If not, why? Did you report this to your command? Or did you remain silent? Is it because you don't care what this dangerous device will do next? Who it might kill or what it might destroy? Or are you afraid that reporting the truth would land you on the front line instead of the rear? The enemy knows we are here, so they climb higher, says the mobile fire team commander. And where are our sharp questions about this standing still routine? We have previously reported that these are not only mobile fire teams, but also crews operating the Jeopard anti-air systems and other means of countering flying ordnance. They have established resting spots at these positions, complete with benches, shelters, and smoking areas, perhaps even beds and barbecues, who knows? Where are the journalistic inquiries about the constant, unexpected repositioning of these units to deceive the enemy? What will happen when the drones fly completely over the ground? The primary goal of neutralizing this threat will remain unfulfilled. Because, at present, you cannot destroy them due to their high altitude, and when they fly too low, no one will be able to shoot them down. Such low flights would mean there is no one capable of countering their trajectory in that sector. So, what is the purpose of employing these mobile fire teams? Or their non-deployment? Where is the logic, comrades? Would it not be wiser to enhance the capabilities of these units and adopt a highly effective tactic of surprise against the enemy? All that is required is the will, training, and skill, little else, from the perspective of costs involved in increasing the lethal power of these units. Because, in their current state, they serve no one, except perhaps themselves, to avoid the front lines and stay near home, while still pretending to defend Ukraine against a treacherous foe. Meanwhile, the enemies understand that by simply changing their flight altitude, they can easily evade destruction of their flying terrorist bombs.